We're ending this hour with our series Flipping the Script, featuring people on screen, on stage, and today on the page, shining a spotlight on diversity. Enter Bob the Drag Queen, a drag legend, actor, activist, reality TV personality, winning season 8 of RuPaul's Drag Race, and now a best-selling author. His recently published book, Harriet Tubman Live in Concert, was just listed among the New York Times bestsellers. I recently sat down with Bob the Drag Queen for a wide-ranging interview where we talked about everything from that book to his love of reality shows. Bob the Drag Queen, we are so excited to have you with us. I still think the best drag name in the business.
I'm going to go ahead and give myself that accolade as well, but I really believe in myself.
It's just so simple and amazing. I love it. Let's start with the book. Congratulations on being the New York Times bestselling. What does that mean to you to be on that list?
Well, you know, when I first announced I was writing the book, there were a few people who were like, stay in your lane, stick to wearing dresses. I'm like, I still wear dresses. I would like to assure you, I still wear dresses when it's appropriate. Changing. But when I grab my pen and paper, as if I'm writing a book in pen and paper, I'm wearing a Snuggie. You know?
I do still write with pen and paper, so it's okay if
like
you
a book? That'd be crazy.
Well, a book, I haven't done that. But, so, I mean, Harriet Tubman Live.
Pen and paper? Let me see.
This is a piece of paper.
There's pen on there.
There's pen on there.
Confirmed,
see, there you go.
Confirmed.
There you go. So this book, what is it about? Because it's a bit of a, I don't know if it's a provocative title, but it certainly gets people's attention.
No,
right?
the title is provocative. I see how on the cover it sounds like an SNL sketch, but I promise it is not. You know, it's about Harriet Tubman coming back to life and continuing her work as an abolitionist, and she wants to make a hip-hop album to do it. So she enlists the help of Darnell, a semi-retired hip-hop producer, to help her write her opus magnum, help her write her greatest work yet.
Where did this idea come from?
You know, there's a lot of strange things going on in my in my head, and this was just one of my brainchilds that I had. I was working at the Berkeley Repertory Theater at the time, and I just remember being like, I feel like I really have to get this idea out there. I was doing Angels in America at the Berkeley Rep, and then I was told by Tony Ciccone, the creative director, that they have a program where you can work on your ideas, your projects.
So I know someone wanted you to write a memoir, and you were not interested in that.
No, you know, my memoir would not be interesting. I think people think it'd be crazy, but honestly, I don't do anything crazy. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't even like going to restaurants, really. So I'm really just at home playing video games all day. So I don't think it'd be very interesting. And I wouldn't want to read that either. I don't want to write the kind of book that I would want to read.
And what I think is also great about this is that the cover of the book, those are actually Harriet Tubman's hands?
Yes. Yes, obviously not holding a microphone. No, the microphone was thanks to Adobe. But yeah, no, those are actually Harriet Tubman's hands holding it. We photoshopped the microphone in there. Yeah.
I think a theme in your life and your career, whether it's doing drag, whether it's stand-up comedy, which I know is such a big deal to you, and this book is using humor to broach sensitive topics. Yeah. Why is that so important?
Well, I mean, humor's how I get through everything in life. Obviously, it's important to me. It's not important to everyone, you know what I mean? Like, just last night, I actually did this show called Dead Moms Club, which is where all the comedians, our moms have passed away. We're going to be releasing it for free on YouTube on Mother's Day. And it's just a way of, healing through laughter and through bonding and through shared experiences. So I use humor in all of my work. Even when it is particularly grim, I use humor in a lot of my work.
Obviously, reality TV has been a huge part of your life.
Some would say.
Drag Race, not to mention The Traitors. I understand there's one reality show you still want to do. Is that right?
Yeah, I would, because I've done Last Comic Standing. Yes. I did America's Got Talent. I was probably on Cops at some point. Don't look it up. But I would still do The Amazing Race with my best friend, Monet Exchange.
Monet Exchange.
Yes,
all right. Monet Exchange was also on Flipping the Script, we should note, a few months ago, too.
Oh,
so
nice.
There you go.
Nice.
Why do you want to do that with Monet?
Well, we have a really interesting relationship. We really are like siblings in real life. We argue all the time, but we also are very effective. We get a lot of stuff done. So I feel like between the madness of our relationship and then how goal-oriented we both are, I feel like we'd get a lot done.
You think you'd win?
Oh, 100%.
You'd win, 100%.
That's how I go in everything.
Guaranteed.
It didn't work for me in Traitors, but right. I thought I was going to win, and that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Last thing I want to ask you had, I think, the dream job last year, Madonna, the Madonna concert. What was that experience like?
You know, everyone asks me what it's like to work with Madonna. Is anyone asking Madonna what it was like
if we could get the interview, we would.
Obviously, you know, it was so many things. I wish I could sum it up quickly, but I wouldn't be able to. It was a year and a half of my life. You know what I mean? She's the hardest worker I've ever met in my life. And I've met a lot of people. She is the hardest worker I've ever met out of everyone. She will go the furthest. She will go the longest. She will go the hardest. She's really intense. And also her fan base is just so remarkable in what she means to people. You can really tell that Madonna's been with people throughout there. She was there at their weddings. Her music was playing at their graduation. She was there when they were sick. She was there when their parents passed away. She was there through the HIV and AIDS crisis in the 80s and 90s when their friends were passing. She was there when they graduated from college. So she's been there for so many people. So to see her on stage, you can see how much she means to people.
Next time I see Madonna, I will ask her what it was like working with Bob the drag queen. Thank you so much. Congrats.
She'll slap you.
Congrats on all your success. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And Bob the Drag Queen's book, Harriet Tubman Live in Concert, is available now. That does